Okay, so I'm going to transfer my ants in this Formicarium because it's getting a bit dirty over to my new Formicarium, my glow-in-the-dark Formicarium. I've added a little bit more glow-in-the-dark paint to it, probably not enough, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it with my camera. And I've also got these 3 test tubes on it now, all with a little tap and a T-junction. It all goes down to one single tap down here as well, so I can fully control my ants. So this is where I'm going to make my extension, just here, with this little tap. So I'm going to slide in this one underneath. Eventually there's going to be a 3-tier thing. Well, 4-tier I should say, sorry. And I've got a heat pad underneath here as well now, just to try and coax them out extra quickly. Alright, let's see if we can see this glowing. Alright, I couldn't really see that glowing. I think it's my camera. Yeah, definitely can't see it with the camera. So it is glowing, but not bright enough for the camera. I think I need to like triple layer the paint or something like that. Okay, so at the moment this piece of percolite underneath this Formicarium is still too wide to actually fit on my shelves. So I'm gonna have to use a long hose to actually fix it up. In here I've got some fish food and some dog biscuits, some water. Oops. And they've put a bit of rubbish in here, but they did have some chips in there. At one stage I was feeding them in here, but that became a bit grotty and too overcrowded of ants to actually open. So this is their rubbish chamber. I've put a few bits of food in here occasionally, but yeah, it's all just getting too crowded and there's too many ants to actually open it. Okay, so let's make this extension. I'm gonna have to be careful because there's ants going through. I'm just going to ignore those ants over there. We don't want to bump this thing too much. Alright, hang on a sec. Alright, he did get out, but I managed to coax him back in. Alright, so I've got this tube hooked up. I've got this one hooked up. We've got an escapee, unfortunately, so I'm just going to cut this quickly. Alright, so there is one escapee, but I've joined it up. Hopefully they'll be in their new chambers in no time. Also, I forgot to mention, this lid that I put on this chamber here has a very, very fine mesh sieve, or a bit of mesh put over a hole on it. It's glued on. So that should sort of dehumidify this chamber slightly. Well, depending on what the outside humidity level is anyway. So I'll try and give you some updates. Okay, so to influence their move faster, I put a light on top of their container. From here, this angle, it looks like the sun. But if you go closer, you can actually see into the container. And yeah, it's not as bright as you think, but it's pretty bright. It's going to start getting really warm as well, so I've got to be careful because it's actually a heat lamp. It's made for a lava lamp. So we've got a few wanderers in here. All these taps on the top are adjusted so that the queen can't fit through, but the workers can. So that way I won't accidentally have the queen going into like a food chamber or something. I'm going to leave it and come back to it. Okay, so I'm still making the transfer from one Formicarium to the other. It's going pretty well. They've sent out a lot of soldiers. Not soldiers, sorry, workers. I've got a couple of bits of live food in here on offer for them. An earwig and a silverfish at the end. Got some sugar down here. I put a sleeve over one of the tubes, see if that helps at all. This one's got very low humidification in it though. So, I doubt they'll be interested. It could take even a couple of days for me to do this, because I still have to make a few adjustments to this tap over here, which leads to this tank of water. I just need to keep adjusting it until the humidity level goes up a little bit, and then the ants will hopefully be interested in moving in. So if you see in this container here with the light, they're all calm for quite some time, and the bottom of the container was so densely populated that the ants could barely even move in there. They're all in like a hibernation state because it was cold. Now that there's a bit of warmth and light in there, they're just going completely ballistic. They were even stacking up rubbish in there before. Now they're cleaning it all out and trying to dig it all out. So they're basically just doing all the mundane tasks that they didn't have enough energy to do before, or that they weren't doing because they were trying to conserve energy. It looks like they might quickly make a shift into here in a panic because this is rising in temperature and bright. Well, hopefully it won't be too long until they move into this chamber over here. Or this one over here. I don't know. I'm sure they're bound to find one of the three. A second ago I saw my workers pulling at my queen. I'm not sure if they were just trying to force her to move, because she was being stubborn. I hope they don't go cannibalistic and eat her.